findings to non-technical stakeholders and pretty much anybody on the team, right? Um, and but the biggest game changer for me was my was at Andari, where I got to work with a lot of cool projects, particularly the social determinants of health projects, where we had to analyze data and it has to do with health.
Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Please, if you're just joining us, please fill the attendance form pinned in the chat box or the message box on your screen. If you're just joining us, kindly fill the attendance form in the message box on the screen. So today we'll be listening or be hearing from our interns. So most of the persons like Andrew, you just finished hearing from right now, who is a data analyst intern in Amdari. We'll be hearing from Halimat and also the data engineering intern. So today you understand why companies trust our interns and understand exactly what the internship is all about, what kind of projects are they working on. So they will present the projects, and I mean, you have all the right to ask them any question and they're here to answer you, okay? So first of all, let me go ahead to, I'd like to understand where we're joining from. Caroline, Francis, Tita, and who else that has joined us already? Sham Master, I think you've joined before. Sham Master already joined us in this session. Dorcas, Godfrey. So let us know on the chat box where you join us from. Are you joining from UK? And what tech career do you want to get into? Do you want to get into data analytics or data science or data engineering? Would like to know. Francis from Manchester. All right. What tech career do you want to get into? Okay. Do you want to be a data analyst or a data engineer or a data scientist? Okay. Hi, Caroline. Where are you joining us from? Okay, data engineer. Nice one. Hi, Caroline. Where are you joining us from? All right. So today we'll be talking about what makes Amdari interns different, why most data professionals don't get hired, and then we get to hear from our interns from York Data Science. Okay, welcome, Dorcas. Welcome, Dorcas. Okay, so we'll just not waste our time because our interns, I mean, there are 3 of them and they'll be presenting to us. So we have lots of things to hear from them. So we'll just go straight forward to the point, right? Now, about me, my name is Ozichi. I'm a growth and marketing professional at Dare. So I am their growth and innovation manager. Okay, that's about me in a nutshell. So why most data professionals don't get hired? Obviously, let's face it, you can't be a data professional. I don't know how to use data storytelling to present your data. You can't be a data professional. I don't know how to present data in the first place. You don't know how to present at all. You don't have presentation skill. You can't be a data professional. You don't know how to use the tools that are required for you to know as someone in that career path. So let's say, for example, right, it's more like being electrical technician, for example. I don't know the difference between neutral wires and the other type of wire. You don't know how to, fix sockets. You don't know how to fix some bulbs. You don't know how to use the tools. Maybe you don't know how to use the clip. You don't know how to use the, which other tool does electrical technicians use, right? And you call yourself an electrical technician. That's exactly why you don't land jobs, okay, as a data professional. So I always tell people, see data as, or see tech as your normal everyday handyman. Look at it as your fashion designer. Look at it as your barber. Look at it as your electrical technician, as your auto mechanic. If you would not trust anyone who is in any of this career path, who is doing any of these things, okay, you've not seen them make outfit before, you've not seen them give somebody a haircut, you've not seen them repair cars before, if you would not trust them with your car, if you not trust them with your hair, if you would not trust them with your clothes or your money, okay, why exactly do you want companies to trust you? Do you understand? So you need practical experience. That's exactly where companies get to see that, yes, this person is good in using these tools, because that's what they're looking for, someone who can deliver on the job, okay? Now, you probably have a weak portfolio. Obviously, a weak portfolio means you don't have projects. You don't have relevant projects, industry relevant projects. Trust me, there are lots of projects out there in cargo, WHO, and so on and so forth. But do they have industry relevance? When I mean industry relevance, I'm working on projects that has to do with population. That does not concern any industry. The financial industry does not need it. The e-commerce industry does not need it, okay? So working on projects that have industry relevance and having it on your CV gives you an edge. You cannot answer, cannot confidently answer scenario-based question. And the only way you can be confident in answering scenario-based question is if you've actually done the job. Trust me, there are smart people in this world. There are smart people that could watch YouTube videos. You could go to ChatGPT, but trust me again, if you've not done the job, if you don't know how to use the software, if you don't know how to use prediction, if you don't know how, if you don't have machine learning knowledge, if you don't know how to use SQL, if you don't know how to use snowflakes, and you're being asked in an interview to explain the kind of projects you've done, you just speak in English. You only speak English and you will not hit the point on the head. Okay. Now you don't have work experience. Why do companies prefer candidates that have work experience? It's because with work experience, they know that you have worked in a team before. Capstone project does not give you that. With work experience, you have time frame or timeline in every project you are doing. Capstone project does not give you that, because with Capstone project, you can start working on it today and decide to finish it next month. Nobody's going to beat you. Okay. And with work experience, it shows that you've worked on collaborative team. You're able to communicate among team members. You know how to present, okay, your findings or your projects to the stakeholders to, use the data storytelling to present your data. This is why recruiters are looking for candidates that have work experience, nothing more. All right. But however, we are going to see what our interns have for us today. So today we have Halimat Ayola Aino, okay, a data science consultant in Amdari. We have Andrew Engere, a data analyst consultant in Amdari, and have Mr. Samuel, a data engineering consultant in Amdari. So, Mr. Andrew, I think Mr. Samuel is going to go first. If I'm right, I don't know if Mr. Samuel, if you're here, give me a thumbs up. Hi, Mr. Samuel. If you're here, give me a thumbs up. Okay, because I wanted to make you a co-host. All right. So I'm going to make you a co-host right now. So you can share your screen as co-host and unmute your mic as well. So you can go ahead and start presenting. So after Mr. Samuel, Halimat, you're going to go next, and then Andrew, you will be last. I'm sorry. But yeah, just to keep it brief so we can quickly finish in an hour. Thank you. Mr. Samuel, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Samuel Mokbai, and I'm a data engineering consultant in Amdari. I'm here to present a project about is a data engineering project that has to do with designing. This is the first slide, designing and building real-time retail transaction pipeline using Kafka, a high technology that is required for spinning data, streamlining data in real time for large data business transactions. And this project has to do with solving real-time problems in industries. However, as a consultant, I will first of all be sharing the business overview for Dealers Mall, a large retail industry. And one of the problem they have is being a fast-paced industry. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, sorry for cutting you short, okay? I want you to put it on slideshow at the top right-hand side of your screen. Up there, you see slideshow. Just click on slideshow and the whole screen will show so people can see it very well. No, right-hand side. I don't know if my right-hand side is the right-hand side. Yeah, slideshow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So can everyone see it now?
Yes, yes.
All right. So let me go back again. Take it from the beginning. Right. Just a minute, please. Okay. I want to run the slideshow again. Just a minute. All right. All right, so we are good to go. All right. Hello, guys. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me, please? All right. Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Mokbai, data engineering consultant, like I've said, in Amdari. and we have a nice project here that has to do with building a real-time real estate, retail transaction pipeline. As engineers, our duty is to make sure, one of the major duties of data engineers is to create scalable transaction pipelines that will help to streamline data into the database to ensure that the business of the company and everything that concerns streamlining of data into the database, so that the data engineers, data scientists, and other business users could have real-time data and information for making business decisions without wasting time. So our duty here is to, this slide talks about the business overview. What the information about Delos Mall. Delos Mall operates in is a fast-paced retail industry like other, big, large supermarkets and retail industries. But however, they lack some insights in getting, lack some real-time transaction data. So that creates a problem. However, currently they are facing a major challenge with fragmented, delayed data processing workflow, which limits the ability to reach concrete decisions and make some inventory changes when they opt to make such changes in the fast-paced industry like the retail industry. So however, as engineers, we have been able to come up with some solutions using some great technologies to streamline these data, to ensure that the house will build a seamless real-time retail transaction streaming pipeline. So we came up with using some tools like Kafka for data ingestion, Apache Spark for real-time transaction processing, and MongoDB, which is a semi-structured data based on the kind of data we want to be using from the API. And we're able to build a scalable storage transaction record for the company. However, we also look into integrating Docker, a containerized technology to be able to use the Docker to stream the development and manage the infrastructure. Why we want to use Docker is to ensure that most of the things we're doing, the transaction will be not on premise, but it will be a streamlined web environment, so that this enables collaboration among departments, sharing of data, batch processing, and all that. But however, we also look into, as data engineers, we collaborate using the tech stack like GitHub, so that the environment which the Spark will be able to, we'll be able to spin our data with using our Spark, which is a scalable data transformation and analytical tools, using Python to extract our data and clean our data, transform our data, and enable efficient handling of data from various sources. So because we discovered they have operational data, the company has, the retail company has operational data, business data, employee data, so all sources of data, and including customer data, all transactional data. So we need a very, strong tools like the Python stack to get that done with our Kafka. So however, Kafka is actually a good tools for this. It helps to spin. We use Kafka to spin our data into the container, then down to the MongoDB. However, we also need Draw.io as a tech to use to design and create our ETL pipeline, design our data architecture, which is like a roadmap, a clean and pure design that enables our users to see what, and including the stakeholders, we use it to present what they will see to understand what engineers are doing, because some of them are not actually tech or tech inclined. So we try to use our diagram, which I will show us briefly. So however, this is the business problem. They were having inefficient data processing, like I said before, challenge. Also having limited real-time analysis. So when the data analyst they want to assess some data, to analyze some data so that the management can make concrete decisions, they were having this challenge. So we came in to solve this problem. Another problem they were having is disparate data sets. So there were data inconsistency in various departments. Operational and logistic data were not coherent. The customer transaction data were not, consistent. So that's where data fragmentation came in, inconsistent messaging and inefficient marketing campaigns. So these are the problem. Another problem, the last problem I have to talk about is the inability to scale. In that some of these data were not consistent, and because of some of the challenges of the growing data, volumes of data coming in, the management could not make a concrete, prompt decision. So there was difficulty in making decision and scaling data, scaling the business. And because of the competition so far, we have to come up with a project objective. One of the project objectives is to create a real-time data ingestion, to develop a robust real-time pipeline that consistently collects and stream data from API. We used the Reddit API using Kafka to spin, all right, extract our data, like web scraping. For some of us, what it means is to extract data using Python, to extract data through Kafka, use it to, to ensure that there's a minimal latency in data availability. What this means is that there will be consistent streaming of data from the API, from the web. All sources will be streamed into our processing pipeline. Data processing analysis and data storage security. So these were some of the solutions an objective we prefer to ensure that we will be able to securely store processed data in MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database, ensuring that both structured and unstructured data, however, ensuring data integrity and accessibility for future analysis. So, however, even if they have data scientists, we have data to ensure that, data scientists are able to get their data, business data owners, data users are able to get data in real time. How will this be implemented? We implemented this through Apache Spark spinning for real-time data processing stacks, including text pre-processing, language detection, and sentiment analysis using machine learning models. All right. However, I also want to talk about the insight generation. The insight generation has to do with enabling this organization to derive actionable insights from real-time data. So it doesn't take 2 days. It doesn't take much time to facilitate and inform decision through streamlined data. That's the benefit of this project. And this is one of the objectives and one of the things we try to develop in this project. However, it means that in a layman word, it means that you'll be able to, the retail company and manager, for instance, will be able to see that there's some products that customers will come in. All right, a customer that buys bread always buy Milo. So they will put Milo, for instance, as a product very close to the bread so that they can make decisions according to products. However, it also means that for all the various branches, the managers will be able to make decisions on how to arrange their products in the various counters. This is one of the things we are trying one of the solutions, and this were the aspect why in the aspect of our decision making in terms of designing the pipeline. Project enhancement, we aim also to look into the API. The REDful API will serve as the primary data source for streaming structured retail transaction data. This API delivers a JSON format record in real time, including transaction details such as stored data, customers information, or customer data. Some of these data are critical data, and including financial details of customers, which are actually critical data, and it's not supposed to be in the preview of everyone, but for some management. So, however, we talk about payment records and payment informations. All right, all these are directed into Kafka and ingested into the Kafka layer. All right. The GitHub is actually used for version control, and Docker Docker was also used to containerize all our applications. All right. When I say our applications, it means our text, our stack. All right. MongoDB, the API client, and all that. However, our retail data pipeline architecture design, this is how it looks like, and this is what we presented, created and designed as an explanation. From this part of it, you will see the API, where the Ready API, where we extracted the data using the producer. All right, this is the Kafka producer. All right. However, you may not see the scripting here, but Python is used here to ensure that I will show us in the Python, in the code area, where the producer is able to extract data, ingest into this Zookeeper. Then the Zookeeper, this works together on. This works together. Just a minute, please. Yeah. So all this works together with the Apache Spark, ensuring that here actually you have the PySpark working. This is where the PySpark is able to extract the data that is being streaming data from the API down to the Kafka, and the Zookeeper hands over to the Spark. So Spark, what is the main work of the Spark is to streamline our data into the database. And here we are using MongoDB database. And this environment entirely, everything that happens here is happening in our container called Docker. Thank you. That takes us to the next one. This is a quick code. This is a quick code walkthrough data. I don't know if everyone can see it. All right, it has to do with the Zookeeper extraction of the data down to the Kafka consumer, then the Spark, and to the MongoDB. All right, this is our transaction table in MongoDB that shows the retail analytic transactions data that has been extracted and processed. However, you can see it's a JSON file in string. So from here, our being a database, the data scientists can extract their data for data analysis and predictions, while the data analysts can also have access to their data. In brief conclusion and in summary, I would say that this project has enormous benefits. It's a real-time data the real-time data ingestion helps to develop a robust pipeline continuously being collected and streamed from the API using Kafka, using minimal latency and data availability. So this project is saving the company lots of millions and ensuring that there's a lot of data for immediate and instant decision making. So data, we're in the fast pace moving world, and everyone wants to make decisions without wasting time. Real data, a lot of data are available there, but getting the real data, clean data at real time, making decision is one of the major benefits of this project. Data processing and analysis, and we were able to look into how data can be processed and analyzed within the shortest time. So we're able to implement using Apache Spark, streaming the data for real time. So it's a benefit having real time for this company. Most companies don't have, most retail companies don't have real time transaction data. So what we've been able to achieve here is to include text pre-processing, language detections, semantic analysis, using machine learning models. So it means that both data analysts and our data engineers will be able to have access to the kind of data they want without a waste of time. In fact, the shortest time, unlike before, they were, because of inconsistent data and because of the challenges of integrating data from different sources, getting this data was a major challenge for the data analyst and the data scientist, and that has been taken care of. Another thing is the data storage security. We'll be able to securely store process data in a MongoDB. So they have a storage system, a location where everyone who has been granted access, users of these data, data owners, the data architect, whoever wants to use data will be able to have access to this data. Not everyone will be able to have access to this data. So that handles the aspect of data security, data governance, and data management, accessibility of data for the future analysis. So it means that even if you can't, at the end of 2 years, a company can say, okay, our data, we got our data last year, and this is what happened last year, this is what happened last 2 years, and all that. But those information was missing previously. So they were able to determine sales, improvement, and make projections. Insights generation enable the organization to make what business drivers enable business drivers to drive actionable insight from real-time data, facilitating information decision making in areas such as marketing, product development, and customer engagement. So now the company is able to decide through insight to know the kind of customers they have, the age bracket, the kind of products their customers like, and the kind of products they are expected to develop. So, however, marketing trend is very easy to trace, and decision making become faster. Thank you for listening. You're welcome.
Wow. Please let's give Mr. Samuel a round of applause. He did so well. He did so well. Like, you can only be this confident if you did the job. You can only be this confident if you're not speaking English. You're speaking in terms I don't even understand because I'm not a data engineer, right? You can only be this confident. Imagine this kind of person in an interview. Chino, you're laughing at me, right? I'm not a data engineer. All this wants to say is just, he's just doing like, what is Apache Beam? What is this? I don't understand. You can only have this confidence if you have actually done the job. That is, when somebody say, I know how to cook, or I explain how to cook, right? You can describe, okay, you put water, you boil your meat. That is what you just, literally gave us today. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. If you have questions now, right, I'm going to allow us to ask him questions. I'm going to take just 5 people, just 5. Don't ask 20 questions, though. just 5 people so that others, Halimat and Mr. Andrew, can present their data as their own work. So if you have questions, you can raise your hands. I'll call you up. You ask Mr. Samuel any question, and he's 100% ready to answer you. If you have questions, you can go ahead and ask. Raise your hands, and I'll call you up. Raise your hands like this. There's an icon there for raising your hands like this. You can raise your hands. I'll call you up to, ask your question. But if you don't have questions, that means you understood everything that Mr. Samuel presented to us today. If you're not a data engineer and everything is doing you like, you can ask questions, okay? I've enabled the microphone. You can raise your hands and ask questions. So nobody has questions for Mr. Samuel, meaning you understood everything. Okay, data science. All right, go ahead. Ask question.
All right. Thank you, Ozichi. Thank you, Mr. Samuel, as well, for that wonderful presentation. So I really enjoyed the fact that you made it as real world as possible, right? Like you said, a lot of industries, especially the ones back home, they don't actually have a way to actually structure and store their data. So even to do proper data analysis, the kind of job that a data analyst or a data scientist would do, you can't do it because you don't even have that infrastructure. So my question is basically, you talked about Apache, and you use Apache to process your data before it's being stored in your database. So what kind of preprocessing are we referring to in a bit more detail? Like, are we talking about cleaning, duplicates? Like, what kind of preprocessing do you typically do on Apache before storing it in your database?
Yeah, thank you. We do data preprocessing using Apache Spark is actually for data streaming, because if you're using a tech that is has to do with on-premise, for instance, someone is using Power BI to transform data and on-premise, is quite different from when you're using Apache Spark. Apache Spark is actually a big data tech. All right, so it's actually used to transform the data. First of all, use it to extract the data. I mean, when we use Kafka to extract the data using Python, all right, to extract the data from the API, it's called web scraping. Now, when we extract the data from the web, all right, comprising from different sources, all right, and when that has been done, a transformation is taking place by Apache Spark. We use Apache Spark to transform the data, to enable this data to structure this data into the MongoDB or any storage we want to use. If we're going to use, it depends on the storage the company has decided to use. All right, even if it's a cloud storage, or most companies go for cloud storage these days because data is just multiplying into zillions. However, Apache Spark is one of the most in tune and reliable tools right now in the globe that manages big data sets. All right, so without that, we will not be able to have the structured, streamlined data. All right, so and we want to make sure that this pipeline doesn't fail, because a streamlined pipeline, I mean the streamlined data coming to the MongoDB in this case, all right, and we want to make sure that it's structured, the image and every information that is coming in is accurate, so that whatever analysis the data scientist is doing at the end of the day, it will be sure. Because let me tell you, everyone is looking for a trusted data. That's the key thing, the trusted data. So whatever we are doing as data engineers, we are considering streaming live data that is trusted, that is well structured, so that the data scientists won't have much problem, the data analysts won't have much problem to have insights from those such data. So transformation is basically done with Apache Spark. All right, does that answer your question, please?
Yes, very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. And again,
right, thank you.
A very good job. Well done.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Samuel. So in a layman's language, let me try to explain what he was trying to say, right? So it means that as a data engineer, let's assume a glass, okay? You have an eyeglass. So the aperture beam, or what he's trying to do for streamlining, please don't mind my language, okay? It's more like trying to clean the data in a way that it's more transparent for both data analysts and data science to see through it, okay, to see the correct environment, okay? So they're for them to be able to get correct data. Because if you have wrong data, if you have data that is not clean, it's more like someone giving you wrong information. And you know that businesses use data to make business decisions, or companies use the data to make business decisions. So imagine a data analyst collecting wrong data, or a data scientist collecting wrong data. What happens is that when you take wrong data as a data analyst, you are going to be, presenting the wrong data. For example, you tell the company that vanilla ice cream does not sell more, and what sell more is chocolate ice cream. Meanwhile, it's actually vanilla ice cream that sell more. Because the data is wrong, they will produce more of the wrong flavor, okay, and lose money. So that's why data engineers are very, very important. For data scientists, if you're taking the wrong data, you will predict wrong future. So let's say you're trying to predict the stock market, and they're telling you Dangote cement, they're telling you Amazon in future is going to have more, their stock is going to do better. Then, because you don't know what you're doing, right? Because the data scientists took a data that is not clean, a data that is not good, okay? They will predict wrong. And if they predict wrong, you invest your money in that kind of stock, what happens? Your money will vanish. So that is why data engineers are very, very important. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for this presentation. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ezechi. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So now that no one else has question for Mr. Samuel can stop presenting, and Halima can go ahead and kickstart. Halima, are you ready? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. Good evening.
Welcome.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Well, we can't see your presentation yet.
Oh, okay. How about now?
Okay, you need to go to the next.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We can see your screen, but you need to go to your presentation.
How about now?
Exactly. We can see it 100%.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Alimat Ayola. I'm a data science consultant at Gary. I'm here tonight to walk you through how I was able to develop a model for waste classification. I know some of you will be like, why do we need AI for waste classification? We do, because so many people are unsure of which goes to which bin. They tend to put wrong waste in the wrong bin. That's why we need this app to help us solve that. The objective of this project is to develop a computer vision system for waste classification using webcam input. That is, you can use your phone, just take the picture or your laptop camera and snap it, and the app will scan your waste and instantly tell you where it belongs to. For example, you can say, okay, put this in the recycling bin, put this in the food bin, and then have this, which makes it easier to do the right thing and helps UK reduce waste, save money, and protect the planet at large. This is a simple context of what we'll be discussing tonight. First thing first, you need to get your data sets. And our data sets has 8,371 images across 9 categories. The categories are batteries, clothes, e-waste, glass, lights, metal, organic, paper, and plastic. The next step, after getting your data set, the next step is to clean your data. Just like Nashi mentioned, a wrong data set will give you a wrong prediction, and we tend to make wrong decisions if we give you wrong prediction. That's why we need to clean our data sets. These are some of the sample images we have in our data set. So because we are working with images, we resize our image to 24 by 24, which is the height and the width. After that, we did data augmentation. What is data augmentation? In the short term, we populated our data set. Looking at this now, you will notice that paper has 1,468 images, organic has 671 images, and sorry about that. Clothes has 722 images. If you present this to our model, the model will get really good at spotting paper, which has 1,468 images, but we struggle at organic because only it has less data. So for us to be able to solve that, this is what we call imbalanced data sets. For us to be able to solve this issue of imbalanced data set, we populated our data, that is, we So, and after doing that, we have 11,817 images across 9 categories. So if you notice now, the difference between our paper and organic is not really much. Paper now has 1,460, while organic has 133 images. So the difference is not much. I wonder we'll be able to do good at it. Then after that, we split our data set into training. I want you to see training now as course material. You can call it class lesson or homework, something we use to, a teacher gives students to train students, just like that, just as a course material. So that's what we are going to use, the images we are going to present our model to train our model with. Then after that, we are going to validate. What do you mean by validate or test? Just like a school this setting. And then I will come to class and be like, take a sheet of paper, write your name, just write a test. So just like that too, we are going to test our models to check if our model is anything. And test in this case is final exam. That's final. Anything you get here is what I'm going to use to grade you, to promote you, or to make sure you pick that class. So that's, and after that, so before I forgot, I compared 2 different models. And there's this saying that says one approach doesn't fix all. Just like human beings, we learn differently, we assimilate differently. Some people like midnight reading, while some don't like. So one of our models, which is the efficient net only accepts minimum pixel cell of -1 and maximum pixel cell of value of 1. While the second model, which is the mobile net, accepts minimum pixel value of 0.0 and maximum of 255. So after training, we tested our model. The first time we tested this mobile net, it gave us 73.83% accuracy, and we're like, okay, we did not really do bad in test. Let's give you an example. Let's see if you'll be able to score higher, and it scored 73.83%. Then the second time, we're like, okay, you can do better. Let's test it another time. So the second time, he got 73.89 accuracy, and during the exam, he scored 78.6. The second model, which is the efficientness, scored 80.28% accuracy during test and 83.83 during exam. And the second time, we were like, okay, let's test you again. So we got 92.43 and 93% accuracy. So this is just a graphical example of what I'm trying to say. This diagonal color, as we are saying here, is the prediction the model gave us. So out of 40 images, the model correctly predicted 32 as battery and misclassified 5 as e-waste, misclassified 1 as glass, misclassified, this is for mobileness, and for efficiency, if you check, this is clothes. The model correctly predicted 33 out of 40 images as clothes, misclassify 1 as battery, misclassify 1 as battery, and so on and so forth. So after that, we're like, okay, let's give you image and test you on. Let's see if you perform better on image when seeing the image. So the mobile net, as you can also see, that this is a paper. When we presented this, the model with this, we predicted this as paper with 46% confidence. We were like, okay, I'm sure this is the paper, but with just 46% confidence. And predicted this as light bulb with 81% confidence. Overconfidence is the word this model for a year, because this is actually a paper and not a light bulb. While our second model, we did this as paper, correct, with 98% accuracy, confidence level, sorry, and this as paper, which is with 100% accuracy, which is correct. So after evaluating, I chose this model, this efficient model, because that is our best model. So the summary of the project is the model correctly identified waste types of data, and especially good at spotting clothes, food waste, and glass. It works really well overall, but could improve a bit on recognizing plastic items, and it is ready for real life waste sorting. So let's check out. This is the interface of my app, but let's test it. Let's see if everything I said here is the truth. Can you see my app now? I want someone to unmute and tell me if you can all see my app.
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
Okay. So you can either test with any of the images here if you like. Just drag it and put it here and click a classify. So this is plastic with 97.35 accuracy, and it gives us prediction. I have already got some images for us to test on. I don't know if anyone can tell me what this image is. This one on my palm.
Battery.
Yeah, so let's check if our model will be able to predict it as battery. Battery with 99.13% confidence level. Like, I'm so sure this is battery. You can record this one another thing for me. So let's check another image. And this, what is this? I don't know if anyone can tell me what this is. This
Is it a carton? A packaging?
Yeah, it's a carton. Yeah, it's a paper. So let's classify it and see. This is a paper with 73 points, so and so on and like that. I can drop this link for you guys to try on your phone. You can either try on your phone or on your laptop anyway to work. And this is a plastic. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Any question?
Wow. Yes, me, I have a question. Wow, I didn't know that you can use AI to do all this, to be honest. Like, how is that possible? So wow, I don't have questions for you. Please, if you have questions, just raise your hands. I really don't have questions. I'm just dumbfounded. If anybody have told me that you could use AI, okay, to classify waste, I would say it's a lie. I didn't know that you can do that.
You can actually.
Oh, wow. Please, if you have questions, raise your hands and you can go ahead and ask Halimat and she will explain everything to you. If you don't mind, can we have the link on the chat box so people can, yeah. You can have the link on the chat box. Please, if you have questions for Halimat, raise your hands and ask question and I'll call you up. If you have questions, raise your hand. She's dropping the link for that app now. So if you want to check it out yourself, if it's true, you can go ahead. She has already dropped the link, so you can check it out. Okay, Kwayemi, let me give you access to unmute your mic. Okay, you can unmute your mic now, Kwayemi, and go ahead and ask Halimat.
Good evening, Halima. Please, I would like to know, how did you deploy your project? Thank you.
I deployed the model on the face.
I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yes, she said she deployed on Hugging Face. How did you go about the deployment on Hugging Face? Can you expatiate, please?
Okay. Hi, Halimat. If you're speaking, your mic is muted. Hi, Halimat. Okay, while we wait for Halimat to, if you have any other question, if anyone else has question, you can raise your hands and ask us. I think we lost Halimat a bit. All right. Yeah, data science, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Halimat. I think Halimat probably did omit her mic for that. So yeah, just to answer, I think the questions from Opeyemi, because okay, to introduce myself, my name is Shina Femefuna. I'm also a data science specialty at Amdari. So we also worked on this project as well. So when you are deploying demos, typically you use like platforms like Hugging Face or Streamlit Cloud, right? So once you're able to develop your app locally, meaning you're able to test it locally, rather than going full production level, you can actually deploy it on, interfaces like Hugging Face. So basically, you push your code, that's your app code, you push the code, you push the model as well that is going to run your inference to Hugging Face as well. And what else are you going to put? The requirements as well. So like Mr. Sampson said, when you are doing a data infrastructure, you have to have a container, right? But in this sense, you just need a requirements.txt file. So you push your requirement file, you push your app code that runs the inference, and you also push your trained model as well to Hugging Face, and it does the building, and you're able to have a full app that anybody can use and test your work.
Sorry, please, I have a question.
Go ahead, Ambrose.
Yeah, I just came in, though I don't really know what the guy, I started it and all that. So I want to know, did he build this model? Like, did he build it from the scratch? Like, did he run the code? Then he later create a app to display the model, to create a should I say GUI, which is called graphics interface, graphics user interface. I just want to know, because I can see that, putting some figures in and it will just it will predict whatsoever I put in there. So I just want to know.
Yes, I use code for all that.
Okay, like you build it from the beginning, you
From
tested
the
the
scratch,
model.
yes, everything.
You tested the model and the accuracy
Yes.
was okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. Nice work.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Wow, that's mind blowing. Halimati can stop presenting now. That's mind blowing. So you build that from scratch. So if you're a data scientist, you've learned the skill, and you're thinking of how you can build this kind of project from scratch. I mean, you could already see what Halimat has done. You could see the evidence. The link is on the chat. You can click on the link and to show you accurately what she was describing. So this is not hearsay. This is real life scenario. This is real life project she has worked on, and she could see for herself the results of her job. Thank you, Halimat, so much. Thank you. We appreciate your efforts. And thank you to your team lead of data engineering and team lead of data science. You guys are doing a great job. Now we'll have Andrew. Mr. Andrew, you can go ahead and present for us.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Just confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, you can.
Okay, just to give you a heads up, it seems my internet.
Oh, I think we lost him there.
Has been. Sorry, did you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to explain. I think I'm a bit delayed by a few seconds. So I've been trying to switch to multiple internets, but I don't know. This seems to be the best. Okay, give me a second. I'll present now.
All right, thank you. So while he shows his presentation, please, if you are yet to fill the attendance form, please do well to fill the attendance form so you can have access to the recording of this session. The attendance form is pinned on the chat, and I'm going to drop the link again on the chat. If you've not filled it, kindly fill the attendance form so you can get access to the recording of this session. Thank you, guys.
Okay, please just confirm you can see the slides.
Yes, we can. Perfect.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Agiri. So I'm going to be talking about NovaTrust bank customer segmentation and engagement strategies. So just a brief introduction about NovaTrust. NovaTrust is like a full functional bank, a financial institute that does the normal operations. And customer lifetime value. So the objective is to identify and engage former students, account holders who are now in the workforce. So which is the whole customer lifetime evaluation. So they primarily have a lot of students. So they want to capture those students and also accommodate targeted packages that they have in the banking institutes now that the students are no longer students and now in the workforce. So this is the data exploration. So they shared the data with us and gave us their data sets. So the things that we did is we cleaned the data for null and duplicates, then focused on the particular category they were looking for, which is to extract students with salary deposits from transactions, not just any students. So students who have had salary deposits into the account, and also analyze customer status and salary histories. So this is just the trajectory of what happens here. So the segmentation criteria. So before I get to that, there's a part of this project where we had to segment or extract the students' accounts through using SQL, so SQL. So once we got the data, we had to write a couple codes with the logic. And the particular logic in this case was to get students who have had a minimum of 10 transactions in the previous years, and transactions that fall between 2,000 and 200,000 to 600, minimum of 200,000 and above. So that was the category. So, and like I said, it has to be specific. It's not like a spending habit. It's more like a salary deposits. Let me specify that. So salary deposits. So based on that, so once you extract that, then you have all the specific candidates. So once you get those specific students, and this is where we then get to segment them. And these are the criteria for the segmentation here. So we segmented them into, for those who fell under the 400 to 600K salary deposits, they were categorized as high income earners. For those in the 300 to 400K were categorized as the moderate income earners, and those between the 200 to 300 were the low income earners. So then we also categorize them as top performing. So using the RFM model. So RFM just means the recency, the frequency, and the monetary value. So we'll assign a score to that recency, frequency, and monetary value, also using the SQL conditions and logic and criteria. So based on that, when you assign a score, I'll give an example. Let's say the total RFM score is 100, right? So those that score, let's say 90% would be considered top tier customers. Those that score 80% would be tier 2 customers, and those that are like maybe like 60 or 70 below would be tier 3 customers. So that's the category and criteria of how these tiers came about. So then from the insights, just looking at this, after segmenting it, you can see like the recency, which I broke down here, is the time since the last transaction. The frequency is the number of salaries deposited in the last 12 months. And the monetary value is the average salary amounts. So they just broke it down into, so those figures there where you see 10, 11, and 12, those are the amounts of deposits that were like received. So people here who have received 10 salary deposits, and those who received 11 and 12. So that's what this means here. And these are the color code that just shows the different salary ranges that fall between those categories. Then recommendations from this categories is like, so those within the 400 to 600K, which are the high level and top tier customers, we offer the advice is to offer exclusive investments, advisory services, and personalized loan packages. For those between the 300 and 400, you offer customer and credit card campaigns with rewards for spending and high loan promotions. And those between the 200 to 300, we offer savings account upgrades with better interest rates and basic investment options. So this is just like an overview of the dashboard. So after the customers were segmented and categorized and extracted with SQL code, those particular extracted customers were then exported into Power BI or like, I think it was Excel, I don't remember, sorry, apologies. So then you extracted them here, and this is the visualization of those specific customers. So this total customers here is not the total customers of the company, but the total customers that are students that fall between these criteria and these categories. And this is just an average and an overview of what those customers' salary segmentation is like. So this is just what this is it. So, and just in conclusion, so the summary is like, create targeted campaigns based on customer segmentation to enhance value for both the customers and the business. Then the next step would be to roll out our targeted marketing campaign, continuous monitoring, and refined segmentation strategies. So this is just an overview of customer segmentation and creating our specific packages to customers. So thank you. Any questions?
Welcome. Thank you so much, Andrew. That was a quick one, very, very quick and precise, straight to the point presentation. Please, if you have questions for Mr. Andrew, you can go ahead, unmute your mic and ask. And if you have questions for him, any question at all, you want to become a data analyst, you have some questions, you have some confusions, go ahead and ask Mr. Andrew. You have questions concerning the internship and how it feels like to be a data analyst intern in Amdari. You can also go ahead to ask Mr. Andrew. Okay, I guess that's a no question and everyone understood. Okay, data science, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the only one asking questions. Well, I guess maybe with time, I think people will get a bit freer to express themselves, because the same project that presented there, they have very very serious use case, right? So just to jump straight to my question, I don't waste any time. So Mr. Andrew, you implemented RFM analysis, recency, frequency, and monetary, right? So I would want to understand that there's sort of a logic, meaning you're the one that's actually going to create that logic. So for instance, how do you define somebody that is a recent user of the platform? How do you define somebody that is most frequent? So just to confirm, is there a logic they are using, or how is that scoring system being done?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me just show something real quick. I think I have it here so that it makes more sense. Give me a second here, apologies. Where is it? Sorry. Okay. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen. Okay, so this is sorry. So this is the code I wrote, and this is the logic in order to look at the frequency and the recency. So like I said, in the example, I used 10 as the criteria, but here what I used was sorry, I used 100 to give an example. So, but here was 10, and in the logic wasn't necessarily my creation, based on what the customer said. So the customer wanted transactions that were like at least 10. Like when I explained this thing here, which is what I wrote here. So they wanted people who have at least at least a transaction of at least 10. So based on that transaction date, that is how the recency came about. So I just broke it down and just created it. The other intervals, that was all me, just to give a bit of a separation between the recency and the frequency. So that's how the numbers came about. So in other words, I can't get any customer that has anything lower than lower than 10. So in other words, I'll be getting the right targeted customers that the client was looking for. So this is just an overview. This is why I said I wrote these codes were put out here to extract the exact customers. So based on those extractions, that's how the visualization came about. So I don't know if this answers your question or gives a bit more clarity.
Yes, it does. Very well, Mr. Andrew. So, thank you very much. So, just to just a bit more question. So, let's say, for instance, this particular business, they scale, right? So, do you have to keep adjusting the logic? And if so, how would you compare, let's say, implementing RFM analysis compared to maybe, let's say, like a machine learning algorithm, like clustering techniques that is adaptable? The logic is just based on what it sees in the data, compared to, let's say, using RFM, where you have to like keep adjusting the logic. So do you have to keep adjusting the logic as, let's say, the company scales up, or is it adaptable to any scenario?
In this particular case, I have to keep specific to just the 10 transactions. But if it was a case where they wanted something that is adaptable, then I will have to adjust the CTE and put like a code here that will be adjustable to any criteria or scenarios that you want to put. But specifically for this particular project, we were just looking for just the customers. Like I said, it was a student customer, and we were now like in the workforce, and they were just trying to target them to make sure they don't lose those customers, to convert them from being students into like actual like lifetime customers. So that was the targeted focus of this particular project.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew. Very well explained. So I really enjoyed the presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So,
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. I have a question. So my question is, if you're working on this code and you have some difficulties, how do you navigate them? Do you have anybody that you call? Do you have someone you reach out to while during your internship?
Absolutely. So okay, let me just, for my experience, one of the biggest things I've learned about, or at least with Amdari, is when you have a problem, you always want to think about it. Even when I reach out to my coach or anything, just like, okay, let it sit with you. And by the time, or the process of me waiting for her to get back to me, because I'm not the only cohort there, right? Sometimes I end up figuring out the problem myself. So the skill there is thinking, critical thinking. because it's actually in your front. Because imagine in a work situation where you know what you're doing, you're well experienced, and you run into a bug and you think you're going crazy and you're like looking for it, but it might actually just be like a comma or something very small, minute. Maybe like, yeah, I have greater than less, and I forgot to put equals to, and I think I made a monumental mistake. But when you actually think about it and look for it, you can actually solve this problem yourself, which is the skill. And that is one thing I picked up, solving a problem. So when I know I've exhausted every option, I'll probably watch 1 or 2 videos or ask more experienced people. I end up now reaching out to, okay, then I know what the problem is. So I don't know if that answers that question.
Yes, it does. It does. That's insightful. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. And I'm going to take it from here. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Thank you, Mr. Samuel, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very bad at names. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Thank you, Halimat. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Your presentation today was really an eye-opening. I'm not really in the intern side, but I always love to, be around you guys when you guys are present. It gives me a better insight to what exactly, we are doing here. If you are getting value for your money, if you're actually getting value or learning or improving your skill. Okay, that's a great improvement. I don't know if you have any final notes you tell our audience, whatever you feel like you would like to tell them, Mr. Andrew, before you leave.
Okay, thanks for having me. So one of the biggest things I want to give people, I want to put out there is opportunity and energy matches effort, right? So you've decided or you've made that commitment that you want to go on this journey. It's not going to be a walk in the park, right? So as long as you've made that commitment, now the thing left is for you to see it through. So you don't have to worry about what anybody else is doing or whether some people are way more experienced. There's going to be situations like that, like people have already pre-existing skills. So don't worry about that. Just focus on your skills and go step by step, ask the questions. There's lots of resources and lots of opportunities here for you to grow. And also don't forget about the networking. I can personally see my growth because I'm self-taught. I learned personally, no one taught me. I didn't have any special data analysis or anything training. So, but coming on here, I've gotten to develop my skills and I feel I can compete with anybody or up to par anywhere else and do the work. So it's not hard. It's just for you to put in the commitments and the effort. So once you put in the commitment and the efforts, all the resources, everything you need literally is out there to help you and grow whatever you need. So it's just left for you. I think the ball is in everybody's court to decide to see it through. So that's all I have to add. Thank you.
Wow. That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. And I hope everyone that is just joining us for the first time is listening. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Hi, Halimat. Do you have any final words you'd like to tell our audience? People are just joining us for the first time, who are still contemplating to join Amdari. Do you have anything you will have to say to them?
Yeah. Good evening. Sorry, what did you say?
Do you have some final words for people that are still contemplating to join Amdari? People that are still thinking about it, if they have time, don't have time, whatever it is that you want to tell them today.
Oh, if you're out there still contemplating whether to join Amdari or not, think no more, because there are so many projects that you get to work on, and this market industry is not smiling at all. There are so many things they ask. We are in the era of AI. You get to ask so many things, and if you join Amdari, you get to work with real life projects. So think no more. Amdari is the way for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How about you, Mr. Samuel? I have someone still here. So any final notes to the audience? Mr. Samuel, if you're speaking, your mic is muted. You need to unmute your mic. Hi, Mr. Samuel. Can you hear us? Are you with us? Do you have any final note for your audience? Okay, I think Mr. Samuel is not here. Probably give us the final note when he comes back. So guys, you've heard from the interns, and I'm sure you'd like to know what the internship is about, and how you can get to join us as well. So I'll just walk us through the career path we have for this internship, our work experience, and how you can join us. Okay, so as you can see on my screen, we don't just only have data analytics, data science, and data engineering. We also have business analytics. We have cybersecurity in the like of SOC analytics, ethical hacking, governance, risk, and compliance. And we have project management career path as well. So if you have learned the skill in any of this career path and looking to gain work experience, looking for where you will, build your skill and land a job, because trust me, even if you want to get some sponsorship job, I always ask people, right? If you are in the position where you are right now, if you're a founder or you are a recruiter, okay, you're looking at the level of skill you have right now, can you actually sponsor yourself? Can you hire yourself and sponsor yourself? Every time I ask this question, people that are just listening to us, the answer I always get is no. Say, we all know the truth. We can tell ourselves the truth, right? Anyway, you can lie to anybody, but you can't lie to yourself, okay? So the point is, how would you get this work experience? Companies will not hire you, but you need this work experience. You need to build this skill, okay? And that's why Amdari is here, to bridge that gap between your theoretical learning and gaining hands-on experience. If anybody has ever sold a lie to you that after your boot camp or after learning by yourself that you join, you apply for a job and you land the job, it does not work that way. Maybe it works 2019, 2018, but right now in the job market that we have today, technology evolves. It's very fast. So you need to have that skill. You need to understand what you're doing before a company will want to hire you. Talk more of even giving you sponsorship as an immigrant in UK or as an immigrant in US or whatever country that you currently live in. Okay. Now, how does this internship works? As Halimat and Andrew, they are here. They can see it. They get to join a team. Andrew is in a team. Halimat is in a team. Mr. Samuel in a team, and they all have different team leads. We've had the persons that came to us that have also presented their findings, their data analysts, their data engineers. I'm sure most of them may not be in Alimat's team or they may not be in Andrew's team, but they are data analysts and data scientists and data engineers. So when you join us, you get to be in a team, you have a team lead. Okay, so every project that comes in, your team needs to take it through project briefing. Let me even ask Alimat, how many times do you have your stand-up meetings in a week? Hi, Halimat.
Yeah, sorry.
So how many times do you have your stand-up meetings in a week?
2 times in a week.
2 times. Yeah. So like I was explaining, right? When you join a team, it's more like an actual job, but it's more flexible than your job. Because we know that you joining us, okay, you are either a career switcher or you are doing your shift job or a 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5, and you have the other jobs you have to do. Now, that's why this is a remote apprenticeship virtual experience. It is a little flexible for you to be able to engage, for you to be able to join what we are doing right here. Now, why is that? After your line manager is taking you through project briefing, you get to have access to the project briefing documents, and they will also teach you how to use these tools. And like Andrew have rightly said, you have access to your line manager. If you hit a roadblock or if you have any difficulties, you can always reach out to them. But I always continue to emphasize on just the same thing Andrew has emphasized. The only way you become a problem solver is when you have an issue. You try to navigate your way around it. Try and find solution by yourself. Because in the process of trying to find solution by yourself, you get to learn a lot of things on the way. Then at the end of the day, if you could not find the solution, you can reach out to your line manager and say, okay, I'm trying to navigate this, then I don't know how to do it. I've tried other possible ways to get myself off this roadblock and I couldn't. That makes you a problem solver. Okay, it's not about writing problem solving as a skill in your CV. Because like Andrew rightly said, if you get a job, even the best software engineers, they always find bugs in their code, right? But what makes them different is that they get to find solution to that problem. They don't go about asking their line manager. They don't go about looking for other software engineers to help them navigate those issues. And that's where, Amdari, the kind of training you get in Amdari. Now, you also get to present your data, get to present your findings to key stakeholders, present to your team. And as you can see, I'm sure that Mr. Harry was Halimat, maybe aside master's thesis, aside maybe BSc thesis or some other programs or some kind of jobs you may have, it's very unlikely for you to have opportunity to be able to do presentation like this. And as a data professional, it's very important for you to have presentation skill. You can't be a data analyst and you think you can be you would be an introvert. Yes, you could be an introvert and a data analyst, but say you want to be a data analyst, you don't want to have anything to do with presenting, as false. It's not possible because every data you present, you must data you analyze, you must present it to the key stakeholders. As a data engineer, as a data analyst, as a data scientists. You need to understand how to use data storytelling to present your data, just like they did right now. They use their data storytelling. They walk us through what they have done, and you understood it to the extent that we don't even have questions to ask. That's exactly what you get to learn with Amdari, okay? With Amdari Work Experience Internship. Now you have access to your portfolio website. I mean, Andrew is here, Halimat is here. You can go ahead and ask some questions if truly you have access to your portfolio website, and you have this access for life, okay? So if you're a tech professional, you don't have a portfolio website, you've been applying for a job with just a CV, trust me, I mean, in this time and age, that shouldn't be what you should be doing, right? You should have a portfolio website that shows the products you've worked on in real time. I want to believe that Andrew, Halimat, and Mr. Samuel, as they've been working on projects, they've been uploading it on their portfolio website, okay? As you can see here, Andrew is a self-learner. I'm sure he has a lot of projects that he has worked on. You can upload them here. The ones he worked in Amdari, you can upload them here. If you have a GitHub account and you have some projects in your GitHub, you can link your GitHub account right here. This is what like the back end of your portfolio website. And you can share this portfolio across multiple, platforms. You can share it on Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. You can copy the URL, have it on your CV, and have it on your LinkedIn profile as well. And this is how recruiters get to see your portfolio website, okay? So like I said, the difference between a portfolio website and a CV is like a CV, you're more like telling them everything that Mr. Andrew, Mr. Samuel, and Halimat are saying here today. It's more like just, showing us what they have done. So imagine they come on here and they're not showing us virtually, the product they've done. Halimat did not show us that website. It will sound like a story to everybody, right? And that's why Halimat went further to show us a website. She even dropped the link for you to go see it. Okay, she brought in pictures of different items. She processed it in our presence. I could see that yes, what she worked on is actually working. The code she did, whatever she built is actually working. That's exactly what your portfolio website depicts. That's exactly what it shows. Applying for a job with just a CV, you're just telling story. Oh, I know how to use Apache Beam. I know how to use this. I know how to use that. Okay, fine. I know how to predict models. I have predicted model for a company and they increase their revenue to 10% or help them cut loss by 30%. Okay, that's the story you're telling. But they need to see it. They need to see your code instead. They need to see everything. That's why you have a portfolio website. That's why it's very important for you to apply for jobs with your portfolio website. And I'm very understand these things, and that's why you have access to your portfolio website for life. Okay, this is just for you to eliminate the fact of applying for jobs with just a CV. With your portfolio website, recruiters could see the products you've worked on in time, okay, in real time. They could see what Halimat has done. Halimat can even drop the link, okay, to the website, okay, that she has built, and they could see it, they could test it, they could tell you, yes, this person actually did this job because this project that she has worked on is unique to her. She's not dragging it with anybody. Nobody is dragging it with her, okay? It's unique to her. Same way with Andrew. Every project they've worked on, the way they did their code, the way they designed their Power BI, the way they designed their Tableau using Tableau, however they did it is unique to them. They didn't copy it from Google. They didn't copy it from ChatGPT. It's exactly what they sat down and sweat and worked on. And recruiters like to see these things. Unlike when you work on projects in cargo and all that, where we have like 50,000 persons that work on same projects, 10,000 persons that work on same project. It makes the project redundant, and that's why real-world experience is very important. And that's exactly what recruiters are looking out for. As you can see, this is how your portfolio website is. Okay, very easy to build. You have access to this for life. Now you also get to have access to a crash course. Okay, which is this Learn platform. So you're working on projects like Andrew have said, and you have some difficulties. There are some things you need to know. It's not every time you go ahead to ask your line manager, though they are always available, right? But when they tell you, okay, try to figure it out, they are training your mind to think by itself. Okay, imagine having a child that from when they were a baby to when they are 10 years old, they're always coming to mommy, I want to wear my shoe. Daddy, I want to wear my shoe. Daddy, have me my shoe. 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old. I don't think any parents will be happy to have that kind of child. If you'd be happy to have that kind of child, give me a thumbs up. I don't think any parent would be happy to have that kind of child because it feels like your child is not growing. And that's why you see kids, while they're growing, at some points they'll be like, no, they don't want you to help them, wear that shoe. They don't want you to help them wear their clothes. They'll wear it the way they want to wear it, even if they wear it upside down. And this is them training themselves to be independent. This is them training themselves to think for themselves, right? And that's exactly what this crash course is for. Okay, you get access to this crash course. If you had your knowledge is rusty, you have some want to figure out, you feel like, okay, there are some things I need to learn about, there's some things I need to check out. You can come to this crash course, okay, to this Learn platform, and you have access to these courses. So if you're in data engineer, you have access to courses in data engineer. If you're data scientist, you have access to data science project, courses as well. Let's say Halimat want to check out some Python, introduction to Python to data science, and maybe she has forgotten some of the things, or while she's working on project, she wants to check out some things. You can come on here and click on start course. Okay, and you can see where I show you data structure, conditional statements, everything you need to know. You have access to it here, and it cuts across all career paths that we have. Now, aside, I will also have a job board. You have access to the remote job board as well. So in the week 6, your CV is being revamped. You can start applying for jobs. Like I said, you don't have to wait till you're done with your internship to start applying for jobs. Please, Halimat, Andrew, and Mr. Samuel, if you're not yet applying for jobs, it's time for you to start applying for jobs, okay? You start applying for jobs and get called for interview, face interviews, and assess your readiness, okay, for the kind of job you want. That's exactly how Amdari is designed. You don't have to wait till you're done with your internship to start applying for jobs. You start now. Trust me, I can confirm 5 people that have landed jobs already. Okay, so you start applying for jobs as you're working on project with this confidence you have and this technical know-how that you have. You could easily apply for jobs. Trust me, you can easily land jobs before you even finish with your internship. Okay, that's if you're actively applying for job. But if you're not, then I still feel like you should still apply for jobs to see, to build that confidence in answering interview questions. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? That the fact that you're able to have that confidence to present to everyone that has joined us here, I don't think you forget when you face interview, because once you have worked on projects, okay, it does something to your brain. You have confidence in what you have worked on. You have confidence to answer any questions that concerns what you've worked on. But if you've not worked on any project and you are asked some interview questions, you'll be thrown off because you don't even know how to explain it. There's no way they will ask Alimat about any project that has to do with data, using AI to segregate anything, or using AI for anything as a data scientist, and she cannot answer it. There's no way they will ask Mr. Samuel about data engineering and data pipeline and how to get data from API or whatever it is to the endpoint of it, that he will not have the boldness to work and use one particular project to walk the recruiters through end to end of what he has done. That is what work experience gives to you, the confidence. And when you have this confidence, you can easily negotiate your salary. Okay, the reason why we don't have the confidence to negotiate salary is when we don't have exactly the skill that we feel is needed. If you have the skill, you know your owner, you know the ball, you'll be the one to negotiate your salary, because these people will be the one they actually want you. Okay, so you need to present yourself in a way that they actually want you, right? So that's why you say apply for jobs. Even when you feel like you're not ready, with Amdari, you should be applying for jobs as soon as you start working on at least 2 projects. Start applying for jobs and make yourself ready, okay? Assess your confidence, assess your readiness level. If you have some questions they ask you during interviews, have access to your line manager. Ask them, okay, last time I went for an interview, they asked me this particular question. They asked me if I know how to use this particular tool. Can we use it? Do we use it in our internship? And that is how you get to close the gaps that you have before you finish the internship or before the internship is done. And trust me, if you continue in that path, it's a no-brainer. Trust me, you're going to land job before your internship, you're done with your internship. Now, the cohorts, okay, before I go further to that, aside that, okay, another employability skill you get to have is CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, one-to-one mentorship, and career coaching, okay? Amdari also prepares you for interviews. So if you get called for interview, please let your line manager know. Amdari prepare you for interviews. You get access to a job reference letter also. So if you're joining us from Canada, you're joining us from UK, Amdari is registered in Canada, and that is also a registered business, a registered company in UK. So you get to have job reference letter from us and also on the job support. So let's say Halimat found the job now, and there's some projects she's working on in that particular company, and she has some difficulties. Halimat can always reach out to her team lead. She can always reach out to her team lead. And Brian is 100% ready to give you that support until you no longer need us. When a child is trying to walk, okay? When a child is learning to walk, the child naturally want to use the adult's leg to stand, or naturally want to use any tool, any standing wall, any bare wall, just to help themselves. That's exactly what we are offering you. Okay, we want to be that wall, want to be that leg that you can stand with until you no longer need us to stand up by your 2 foot. Okay, so that's why we render on the job support. And like Andrew have said, you will network with a lot of people. Trust me, there are people that are in this internship coming from across the globe. People joining from UK, people joining from Ireland, those from US, those from some parts of Africa, and so on and so forth. So you get to, rub minds with like-minded persons. You get to network as well. And you also get to work on some cross-functional team projects, okay? So another thing you also need to know about this project is get to work on projects across multiple industries. Trust me, if as a data analyst, let's say you've had experience in an e-commerce company, you will find it a bit difficult to navigate from e-commerce to fintech if you've never done any project that has to do with fintech. It's not because you're not a good data analyst, but because the data set in e-commerce and data set in fintech is not the same. I will try to confirm from Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, what do you think? Do you think it's the same thing in all industries as a data analyst? The data set in all this industry. What do you think?
No, absolutely not. So just like the one I worked on right now is just specific and it's just segmentation. So there are other one that goes deeper and further insights and everything, and it goes across different industries. So yeah, so it's just good to have the different experiences and decide which one you want to focus on.
Exactly. Aside deciding which one you want to focus on, imagine having experience across multiple industries and you're just applying for jobs randomly, applying for e-commerce, applying for fintech. Now, let's assume a fintech company or an e-commerce company, let's say use fintech. Okay, they call you for interview and they're asking you to walk them through a particular project you've worked on, a project that excites you. Okay, I expect you, it's a no-brainer, okay, to use that project that has to do with fintech to walk them through that project, because that's the project that they can understand. That's the language they understand. That's the data they are familiar with. Okay, and that is how you land jobs. Trust me, a lot of persons that are yet to land job, it's not that they don't know what they're doing, it's not that they don't have the skill, but sometimes it could be that you don't have experience in that particular industry. And when two persons are looking for a particular position, don't forget that you are also competing among other persons. So if you have passed your interview, another person passed their interview, they have to pick one person among two persons, right? And the other person maybe have experience in fintech and you don't. This company will naturally gravitate somebody towards the person that has experience in that fintech industry, or the person that have worked, in a for a project in that particular industry. It does not mean that you that don't have that experience is not good. It just means that it's easier for them to, assimilate into the industry. It's easier for them to understand what the industry is looking for as a data analyst. It's easier to understand the data sets in that particular industry. And that's why with Amdari Work Experience Internship, you get to lay your hands on multiple industry experience and also multiple technology. I saw a video of a lady describing that she's a data analyst. She went through boot camp, but there's some tools that she never heard of. She never heard of Lucas Studio. She never heard of what they call it, Snowflakes. I mean, Mr. Andrew, have you heard of all these tools before you joined us?
Yes, I have. Yes, I did.
But have you
But I
used
was a
them?
bit of a new. Yes, I've used some of them. So yeah. But the thing about it is like it's good to have experience with multiple tools, but it's always good to be very, very good, at least with one or two of them, like really, really good. So that's one thing I've learned from being here.
Yes, you have to be good at it. And that's what I always tell people. When people want to join us, they'll be like, oh, I just want to get 3 months. You are new in this career path and you feel like you can get, join the internship, and in 3 months, you're already hitting the ground running and you're already perfect in your skill. Trust me, I'm not going to come in here, okay, except you already have some level of experience. I'm not going to come on here and lie to you that as a data analyst that is just coming from bootcamp, you join Amdari and in 3 months, you become good. You work on very substantial project, but for someone who wants to build that strong skill, okay, that you want to be very, very good at what you're doing, just the way Andrew is explaining, I'm sure 6 months is better. Andrew, what do you think?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, because I get that some edutech company would like to people that, oh, if you join us in 3 months after you're done, then with the school or with the study, then you apply for jobs. And some people may lie to you that in 3 months, if you work on projects in 3 months or work on some capsule projects in 3 months to become a data analyst, is a lie. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. You need an ample experience. If you want to be very good at what you're doing, you don't want to be a half-baked bread, 6 months internship is what you need. Okay, and now our next cohort is July 5th. And if you'd like to join us, we're running a 16% discount. 3 months work experience internship, 6 months work experience internship. So it does not mean you would want to go for the 6 months direct. You can do the 3 months and renew again after 3 months, right? So for the 3 months work experience internship, you get to pay in 3 installments. For the 6 months work experience internship, you get to renew pay in 5 installments. That means you can secure your spot with £230 for 3 months work experience internship, and then you secure your spot with £150 for the 6 months work experience internship. So if you'd like to secure your spot, I'm going to walk us through how to make payments. Okay, and then when I'm done with that, if you have any other question about this internship, if you have any other question to ask me, then you can go ahead and ask. Please, if you're yet to fill the attendance form, please do well and fill the attendance form. I'm dropping the link to secure your spots on the chat. Okay. Now, if you click on this link, it's going to bring you to this page. Let me share that page with us right now. So it's going to bring you to this page. And on this page, if you scroll down, let's assume you want to go for data engineering. All right. You select 3 months work experience internship if you want to go for 3 months, or 6 months work experience internship. So the difference between 3 months and 6 months is this. For the 3 months, you get to work on 4 to 5 projects, and for the 6 months, you get to work on 8 to 10 projects. Okay, and also for the 3 months, most likely you may have just one interview prep session, while the 6 months you get to have more than one interview prep sessions, right? So you click on secure your internship, all right, and then to bring you to this page, and at the top right hand side, you can change the currency you want to use in making payment. If you want to pay in dollars, if you want to pay in British pound sterling, then if you want to pay in euros, you can select it right here at the top right hand side. And so if you want to pay British pound sterling, like our price indicates, like I said, you can pay a 3 installment for the 3 months work experience internship. Select £130, click on secure your internship, and this is the payment structure. You click on proceed. It takes you to this page. You fill in your details, your name, your email address, and your phone number is optional. Confirm your email, that is click on proceed, confirm your email, and then make your payment, fill in your card details and make payments. Now, once you make your payment and your payment is successful on this page, you're going to receive an email, a confirmation email from Mainstack. Please take a screenshot of that email. It can serve as a payment receipt. And as soon as this place or this page is showing successful or payment successful, it should naturally bring you to this page. That was the initial page we are coming out from. If it does not bring you here, please kindly find your way back here by clicking on the payments link again. Now, when you are here, fill the payment registration form, click on it, all right, and just kindly fill the payment registration form. This is where we get to have your details, your name and everything, okay, and then you click on next. Now here, you get to have indicate which program you want to go for. So let's assume we want to go for data engineering, as we indicated earlier. Upload the payment receipt. Okay, that's a screenshot. So if you don't have any other form of payment receipt, like I said, you can use a screenshot as a payment receipt. Tell us the name of the account you're making payment, read that terms and condition, and select the internship plan you want to go for. If you know you'd like to, even if you're going for 3 months, you're going to go for 6 months after 3 months. So you can select 6 months, okay? But if you know absolutely not, you just want to do 3 months and 3 months alone, select 3 months, okay? So if you go for 6 months, you're going to see this on your next page that you won't see if you select 3 months. Okay, where they're asking if you like to split your internship in 2. That means you want to do 3 months for one program, 3 months for another program. Now, if you like to do that, select yes and select which program you like to go for the first 3 months and which you go for the second 3 months. And again, okay, I don't know if I should call it a career advice. I would say, if you are new in the career path as a data analyst, you don't have Python skills, please don't split your internship. Okay, like Mr. Andrew has said, then I just go straight 6 months for that data analytics, or straight 6 months for data science, or straight 6 months for data engineering. I've heard people say, oh, I want to do data analysis and data engineering. If you don't have machine learning skill, you don't have Python skill, you don't have knowledge in these 2 things, don't jump from data analytics to data engineering. Okay, so that's just what I want to say, right? Because some people can be confused and they want to just have everything at the same time. At the end of the day, when you're trying to gather everything at the same time, you don't have anyone at all, right? You want to come to this internship, build that skill, and land yourself a better paying job. Okay. Now, for those that are in cybersecurity, obviously they have that flexibility of selecting 2 programs, because they basically use the same tools like SOC analytics and ethical hacking, and GRC does not have too much technicality. So what they do is they select maybe SOC analytics first 3 months, and the next 3 months they select another program. Those in business analysis and project management also do the same thing, because they are not so much no much technicalities, and they also get to use they're using the same software. Both business analysts and project managers use the same software to work on their projects, right? So they can easily select, do 2 programs, all right? But if you're going for data engineering, data analytics, and you are new in that career path, what I mean absolutely new in that career path, please stick to one and get an ample experience in that. Then you go to next. But if you want to if you want to just split it, you can also split it, right? Now, tell us what you found about Amdari and what's influenced your decision to subscribe to the Remote Apprenticeship Virtual Experience by Amdari. Is it the internship you get to work on with expert guide? Is it the on-the-job support? Is it a reference letter you get to be having? Is it the career, LinkedIn optimization and CV revamp? And whatever it is that influenced your decision, whatever it is that convinced you to subscribe to the RIF by Amdari, tell us here, and then you submit your form, and that will be all. Okay, so if you have questions for me, you can go ahead and ask questions, but if you don't, then we'll have to call it a day. If you get to fill the attendance form is on the sheet, okay, on the message box. And if you fill the attendance form, we can send you the recording of the session. So if you have questions, I'm going to just give us a minute. If you have questions, raise your hands and ask me any question that you have. However, if you don't have questions, then we can call it a night, and that will be all. So I'll just give you a minute. If no one has questions, then we'll call it a day. Okay, so I think no one has questions. So thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. Thank you, Halimat. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. And thanks to everyone that, took out their time to join us today to listen to our interns present their projects. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Bye, everyone.